Rat-a-tat.
Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leader in rushing, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out over at patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. You can also find us in podcast form. Wherever you get your podcast, just search Packer Fan Total Access. Joined alongside Emilio down here in Tennessee. We got some breaking news this evening as the Green Bay Packers have announced, I guess Rich Bisaccia has announced that he is stepping down. Tom Pelissero broke the news here as he said Packers assistant head coach Special Teams Coordinator Rich Bisaccia is stepping down. Sources tell me and Mike Garafolo. Rich Bisaccia is 65 years old, had been with Green Bay since 2022. Now, weeks after replacing defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley, Matt LaFleur needs a new special teams coordinator too. So we'll get your initial thoughts here, Emilio. We've got a statement, it looks like, from Rich, and then we've also got a statement from Matt LaFleur, and then we got a quick little article we'll skim over from our buddy Wendell Ferreira, who's talking about maybe what this means for the future here. Mm-hmm. Rich Bisaccia obviously stepping down as the special teams coordinator and assistant head coach for the Packers. The first thing that triggered in my mind, Emilio, is this mean Keyshawn's gone too? Because they seem to have kind of come as a package, right? But what do you think about this, man?
Yeah, that's tough. I always liked Rich. The fact that everyone, was so hard on him, rough on him. Half of the problems weren't his fault. Some of them were, obviously, right? They're still coaches and stuff like that. But I think he did a lot to develop the players. I think that he helped this team. I think that the players really respected him. They could go to him. And it's just, you can't always have, the hard-ass coach, can't always have the nice coach. You got to have a little bit of everything. I think Rich was a really good blend and a lot of knowledge. Was he 65 or 60? I think he's like 65.
65, so, yeah.
A bunch of knowledge, been in the NFL a while. So I'm thankful for his time here. Appreciate him. Glad for everything he did. But it's one of those where it's not for long. We got to keep moving for players and coaches. Right after this decision is made, Matt LaFleur is making calls probably tonight, if not 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'm eager to skim over that article real quick from Wendell Ferreira, see if he's got a couple of ideas here as well. But Tom Pelissero quote tweeted that original breaking news, and he had it looked like a statement here. Actually, this may have been from LaFleur. Let's see. It says the Packers have now confirmed Rich Bisaccia stepping down. Coach Matt LaFleur said, quote, "While we are disappointed to lose a person and coach as valuable as Rich, we respect his decision to step down from the Packers. Rich was a tremendous resource to me and our entire coaching staff, who had a profound impact on our players and our culture throughout the building. We can't thank him enough for his contributions to our team over the last 4 years. We wish Rich, his wife Jean, and the rest of their family all the best moving forward." Now, there was rumors that Rich Bisaccia was wanting to step down last year, and I believe as it got closer to the season, he announced he was coming back, and I know many fans didn't like it. I see the chat already reacting. Dave C. in here says, "I'm still going to fire Rich when things go bad this season." And again, this is the part where your boy Clayton says, we've been down this road before. Mm-hmm. We ran special team coordinator after special team coordinator out of the building. Are we going to change the way we're operating in terms of building a roster to help bolster special teams? I'm not saying Rich was a great special teams coach, although it seems like the consensus around the league, everybody knows and thinks Rich Bisaccia is a hell of a special teams coach, but for some reason couldn't put it together here in Green Bay, obviously. Cheese Guy 689 says, okay, so who's the next assistant head coach? That's a great question, Emilio. Do you go out? Is this an opportunity to go grab someone like that senior advisor we've talked about, maybe someone who's been a head coach before, and have him come in as your assistant head coach for 1 year and help Matt with some of that stuff now that Rich is gone? Does he promote from within? Do they just keep it? I don't think they'll just keep that open. What do you think? What would you do if you were in that situation?
Well, I think the assistant head coach is kind of the biggest thing. It's who would you have wanted to keep around stop from being poached? At this point, I feel like they've kind of, taken out the coordinators that they wanted. If you're wanting to keep anybody else around, I think you slap the assistant head coach tag on him. If not, you go out and get a special teams coordinator, Probably somebody from college, I would think. Maybe if you find someone that's been, maybe step back from, or I would like someone that had previous knowledge of special teams coordinator at least. I feel like you don't want somebody that's, brand new coming into this, but I would like somebody with a little bit of knowledge, and then, maybe save the assistant head coach at this point. Bring in some, you said senior advisors, something like that. Maybe save that assistant head coach tag for the end of this season to try to avoid losing somebody for next year.
Yeah, definitely. So Wes Hokowitz put a tweet out. Actually, let me hit these comments real quick here. One more. Mike the Superfan says, well, Packer fans got what they wanted. Now what? Right. So that's it. Yeah. Again, we've all been frustrated with special teams. Mike probably has to a certain extent as well. But at the same time, you step back and go, boy, this is kind of bad timing. It is. But I just wonder, I'm strictly speculating, but what if the Packers coaching staff met getting ready for the season and they decided, all right, we're going to move on from this player, and this player. One of those players is Keyshawn Nixon. I can't help but wonder, did a conversation take place with Rich about Key or vice versa? You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much.
Yeah, Hobbs came from the Raiders too, right? And we tried Carlson. We tried the kicker, but it's not like Rich didn't. He knew what Whelan had. He had every club in his bag, right? He can do all the shots. He can spin the ball. It's like everything that Rich, when you listen to his pressers, just the intricacies of kicking the football, either it be punting, off the tee, field goals, anything, the way you're hitting it, the way the grass is feeling, the way, all those different, can you repeat the stroke? Can you do everything right? I think Rich had that all, but again, you need to, we're going to have to find somebody to replace him and quick, because like we were just talking about in the draft, we were looking for maybe a punt returner, kick returner. McColl didn't stay last year. What are we going to do this year? We got to make a decision fast. That special teams coordinator needs to come in and say, all right, we got our kicker. We got a kicker. We got a punter right now. Cool. I need to figure out this return game.
Right. Exactly. Ron Sample says Seattle assistant special teams coordinator, go to one of these organizations, I think is what Ron's saying, that had great special teams. And I don't know the exact numbers on Seattle. I'm sure they were great. They just won a Super Bowl, right? But maybe you go in there and try to find a young up-and-coming coach to replace a special teams coordinator. I like what Kim Walter says here. Sean McDermott would be a phenomenal assistant head coach. That's the type of guy who's had head coaching experience. Have him in Matt LaFleur's back pocket, just kind of help him with some of the other things, some of the situational awareness in the game while Matt's calling plays and all that. I kind of like that idea, man. I really do. So,
yeah, but and you're bringing in another defensive coordinator as well. And Sean, if you were able to do that with Sean McDermott, giving him a higher title, okay, cool, but he can overlook everything, give points of view on the offensive and defensive side. It's just more you're able to bounce off of each other.
Absolutely. So Wes Hokowitz tweeted out, this is Rich Bisaccia's statement, okay? And Wes said the Packers will have a new special teams coordinator in 2026. Rich Bisaccia, quote, after taking some time to reflect over the last few weeks, I've made the decision to step down as the assistant head coach and special teams coordinator for the Packers. I am incredibly grateful for Matt LaFleur, Brian Gutekunst, Ed Policy, and Mark Murphy for their unwavering trust and support throughout my time in Green Bay. I am also thankful to the players for their consistent work and relentless effort to improve every single day. I would like to thank everyone in the organization for their dedication and commitment. The people in this building make it a special place to work. I want to also thank our fans. Wow. What a class act. I want to also thank our fans and the people throughout the Green Bay community for their passion and love for this team. Coaching for the Green Bay Packers was truly an honor, and I will always be grateful for my time here. I look forward to whatever is next for me and my family, and I wish nothing but the best for everyone in this organization. I just want to say he took the high road.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to hear another bad word said about Rich Bisaccia, because it'd been real easy to go half-baked. Screw you, you're cool, screw you. So you got to tip your cap to Rich Bisaccia there in that regard. Now, I want to dive into a little bit of this article. I won't read the entire thing, but Wendell Ferreira, awesome writer. You guys can check him out at A to Z Sports. You can follow him over on X as well. He's a phenomenal follow. He says, timing is complicated. The Packers didn't have much success on special teams with Rich Bisaccia as the coordinator, and key mistakes in the area were decisive in at least 2 of the last 3 seasons in the playoffs. Costly missed kicks against the 49ers after the 2023 season and against the Bears last month. Green Bay finished the 2025 season at 21st on special teams by DVOA. So They weren't at the bottom, but they were in the bottom half, if that makes sense, right? So not horrible special teams, but obviously not in the top half of the league. While Bisaccia's decision may be a perfect fresh start, the fact that he took so long to make the final decision puts head coach Matt LaFleur in a tougher spot to hire a new coach. Quote, while we are disappointed to lose a person and coach as valuable as Rich, we respect his decision to step down with the Packers, LaFleur said. He went on to talk about replacement options, he being Wendell Ferreira. The most natural option to replace Bisaccia would have been former assistant special teams coordinator Byron Storer, but he was hired by the Cleveland Browns as the coordinator. Hold on. Why would we want to promote the assistant special teams coordinator if we were so pissed off at the special teams coordinator? Right. Like, that don't make sense to me. Mm-hmm. And that's no disrespect to Wendell Ferreira. I think many fans are looking at it the same way as Wendell. I'm looking at it like I thought we want to scrap everything.
Didn't we already try, promoting from within that special teams?
Yep, exactly. It says in terms of experience, the best option would probably be Ken Kotwicka, if I'm saying that right, Kotwicka, the Baltimore Ravens senior special teams assistant. I like that senior there. That's nice. He finished last season as the Rams interim special teams coordinator after Sean McVay fired Chase Blackburn. So he wasn't even Sean McVay's first choice. So now I'm backing off of that previous thing. Other logical options are assistant special teams coaches from specific successful units. Devin Fitzsimmons from the Seahawks. There you go. Okay. Kevin O'Day from the Jets, and Joe Hastings from the Colts. Former New England Patriots special teams coordinator and New York Giants head coach Joe Judge could be an option, but he's working as Ole Miss quarterbacks coach and is uncertain if he would want to return to special teams. Joe Judge is in a little bit of hot water. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, just search Joe Judge on Twitter, and you may second guess that one, but do your own research there. You'll know what I'm talking about the second you see it. The Packers needed change on special teams, but the timing wasn't ideal. Now, though, LaFleur has the tough task and several options to find the new name to save the Packers in an area where struggles have been frequent. And again, we say frequent because, Emilio, this has predated Rich Bisaccia. This has been a problem as long as I've been a Packer fan. Special teams have been an issue. What's your final thoughts on it here as we get ready to wrap up? We just want to bring you guys that breaking news, quick little segment to get you the information.
Yeah, I mean, West Coast system, you're not always looking at special teams specifically. We've gone through a couple kickers. We've tried a couple punters. We had Bajorquez here. It's like you've gone through a lot to get you here. Then you have the new kickoff rule as well. So you want somebody that maybe can handle the new kickoff rule, all those different things that you're doing with that. Ideally, yeah, we find someone from the NFL ranks. I still think, Matt wasn't afraid to go get Halfley out of Boston College, right? So that's would be my only thought of maybe he's had somebody in his back pocket that he's thought of this whole time that, okay, if I get a chance to bring in a special teams coordinator besides Rich, somebody that I think's up and coming, got whatever new thing going on, perfect. Like, bring him in, give him a shot. But I don't think you would hire anybody else from within after our other boys gone at this point.
I wouldn't either. Like, I don't, not saying they wouldn't. I'm just saying I wouldn't. Right. And the other thing is, like, and we kind of talked about it a little bit as we get ready to wrap up. Do you go younger or do you go with an old head? We went with an old head and Rich, and it didn't work out. Right. We went younger before, if I remember correctly. I can't remember who the guy was at Slowick or whoever. I felt like it was a younger coach. That didn't work out. So maybe somewhere in the middle. I always tend to lean toward give me someone who's got a ton of experience. That's what I liked about Rich with the hire is this dude. And listen, whether you think he did a good job or not, the reality is the special teams got better under Rich Bisaccia. There's no two ways about that. We couldn't get a punt off without it getting blocked. Are you kidding me? That's why we lost to the Niners in the NFC Championship at a snowy Lambeau Field, is because they returned a block punt for a touchdown. So again, we'll see. Time will tell who the hire is. As soon as they do make a hire, we will make sure we go live with breaking news right here on PTA and get you guys and gals all of that information. I do want to say this real quick. Nick McSwain in the chat, friend of the show, been listening since day one. Love this dude to death. He says, sorry to get heavy, but could use some prayers. My mom passed away last Wednesday and family isn't doing great. Nick, so sorry to hear that, dude. We are praying for you and your family, man. I promise you that. I don't say that unless I do it. You have my word. And, someone who went through losing their mother just a few years ago. You guys remember we had just launched the show and I was kind of dealing with that. Know what you're going through, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
It'll get better. And we're definitely praying for the family. And just know this, man, when things get hard like that, just know we are here. You know what I mean? Tune into the show, hop into the comments, take your mind off everything. And we're always here for you, man. Sorry to hear for your loss. And we're definitely praying for you and your family, bud. So with that being said, I know it's a little heavy, but if people don't like it, they can get over it, man. And what we got here at PTA, that's the type of community we're trying to create. Is we want people to come in here, everybody get along, everybody talk ball. It's not going to be toxic in the chat. That's the type of environment we're wanting to create. So, Nick, praying for you, buddy. We love you, man. So, Emilio, appreciate you jumping on, man. Again, it's funny. We were getting ready to get out of here, and then we were like, oh, breaking news. Let's go live again.
Yeah.
So here you go.
Yeah. And I mean, don't forget, I mean, who was always standing next to Matt on the sideline?
I'm telling you.
Who was always bouncing ideas off of him? You know what I mean? I think it's going to hurt Matt, not hurt him, but I think it's going to be like, okay, I do want to find another sidekick that I can have on the field. Maybe it's the D coordinator if he's going to be down in the field instead of on the box. All right, cool. But I think that you need to keep that in mind. And like you said, assistant head coach is open now.
Yeah, and you're looking to bridge that gap. You're looking, an assistant coach is bridging that gap from the players to the head coach, right? And Aaron Rodgers thought the world of Rich Bisaccia. Right. So, like, when you got someone who's a 4-time MVP who says this guy's a great assistant head coach and he's a good leader of men and all that, he's not going to tell you what you want to hear. He's going to tell you what you need to hear. That's something you got to replace now. So it's going to be a touchy subject. We'll, like I said, we'll let you guys know when the hire is made. But if y'all would do us a big favor, hit that like button, smash the like, hit the sub, click the bell icon. We will be back tomorrow as news breaks. My name's Clayton. This is PTA. That's Emilio. Go Pack, go.
Here we go.
We're out. Bye, guys.